Atlanta's Love and Hip Hop set turned into a storm no one saw coming. Cameras were rolling, lights were hot, and the tension in the room was so thick you could almost hear it breathing. Karlie Red walked in first, rocking her signature confidence, heels clicking like gunshots against the studio floor. Moments later, Rasheeda followed. Calm, collected, but with that unmistakable spark in her eyes that said she wasn't here for games. The two women locked eyes, and the air changed. Crew members went silent. Mona Scott herself was standing by the monitor, jaw tight, sensing something was about to explode. What started as a normal filming day for a reunion-style segment quickly turned into one of the most chaotic on-set moments Love and Hip Hop has ever seen. Whispers began spreading through the production team that morning. Something about a rumor Mona had confirmed privately. A rumor involving Kirk Frost and something that could shake Rasheeda to her core. Nobody expected Karlie Red to be the one holding the receipts. As the cameras began rolling, Mona gave the nod. The two women took their seats, each smiling that sharp, forced smile reality stars perfect over years of televised tension. But then Karlie leaned forward, pulled out her phone, and said, "So, you sure you want to keep pretending you don't know what Kirk's been doing?" Rasheeda froze. The sound tech's hand trembled over the volume control. Mona's face fell. The studio lights flickered like they sensed what was coming. In a matter of seconds, years of friendship, loyalty, and buried jealousy came rushing to the surface. Karlie wasn't holding back, not today. She had messages, photos, and a claim that Mona had already confirmed behind the scenes. Kirk Frost had been caught up in something that could ruin not only his marriage but his image entirely. Fans who were lucky enough to catch leaked footage before it was scrubbed off social media say the argument spiraled fast. Rasheeda's calm cracked into disbelief. Karlie's voice rose like a warning siren. And Mona, usually the one pulling the strings, was suddenly caught in the middle of a storm she couldn't control. Crew members tried stepping in, but the two women were far past the point of civility. And the worst part, the truth behind Mona's confirmation wasn't just about infidelity or gossip. It hinted at something much deeper, something about money, betrayal, and the kind of secret that can break a family apart. Viewers online are already calling it the moment Love and Hip Hop turned into real life. By the time security stepped in and cameras stopped rolling, Karlie's mic was on the floor, Rasheeda was in tears, and Mona Scott's expression said it all. The rumors weren't rumors anymore. Whatever she had confirmed about Kirk Frost was real. And now the entire cast and their millions of fans wanted to know the truth. But here's the twist. Mona didn't try to deny it. She didn't even flinch. She simply said, "It's time they all knew," before walking off set, leaving everyone speechless. And that's when the chaos really began. Under the heavy studio lights, the tension between Karlie Red and Rasheeda felt like electricity running through the air. Nobody could focus on the cameras anymore. The scene was supposed to be about friendship, forgiveness, and women supporting each other after years of betrayal. But that idea died the moment Karlie spoke. She leaned back in her chair, a sly smile curling on her lips, and said in a calm, dangerous tone, "Rasheeda, I'm just wondering, how long were you planning to pretend you didn't know?" The words hit like a slap. Rasheeda blinked, confusion written across her face, then glanced toward Mona Scott standing near the monitors. Mona's face gave nothing away, but her silence said everything. There's something real, and Rasheeda could feel it. "What are you talking about, Karlie?" she asked, her voice shaking just enough to betray the anger boiling beneath it. Karlie laughed, tossing her hair over her shoulder. "Girl, don't play dumb with me. The whole set knows. Half of Atlanta knows." And Mona, she paused for effect, turning her gaze straight toward the producer. She already confirmed it. A murmur ran through the crew. Cameras kept rolling, unsure if they were filming a breakdown or a breakthrough. Mona didn't move. She just crossed her arms and stared at both women, letting the silence work its way into the cracks of the moment. "Confirmed what?" Rasheeda snapped, standing up. Her voice echoed through the studio. "You out here spreading lies again? You want attention that bad, Karlie?" Karlie rose too, slow and deliberate, her expression hard. "Attention, baby, I don't need attention. I've got the truth." She pulled out her phone and waved it in the air, scrolling until she found something. The screen glowed with messages blurred, but real enough to shake anyone who saw them. "Your man, Kirk, been running a whole side situation. Not a rumor, not a maybe. Mona told me herself. She said she didn't even want this getting out during filming. But I guess secrets got a way of finding their way to the light." Rasheeda's lips parted, but no words came out. Her chest rose and fell fast, and for the first time in a long while, her composure cracked. Mona finally stepped forward. "Karlie," she said, voice sharp, "Put that phone away," but Karlie didn't stop. "Nah, they need to see it. They need to see what's really going on behind the cameras. Kirk out here living two lives while Rasheeda out here defending his name like he's some kind of saint." Someone from the production team tried to step between them, but Rasheeda shoved past. "You're lying," she said through clenched teeth. "You've always been jealous, always trying to stir up something for airtime, but using Mona's name now, that's low, even for you." Karlie smirked, her voice rising with every word. "Oh baby, you can call it jealousy all you want, but Mona told me what's up. Kirk got another baby. You didn't know. Oh, he kept that quiet, huh?" The words hit the air like a bomb. The crew gasped. Someone whispered no way, and Mona's face turned stone cold. Rasheeda froze again. For a moment, she looked like she was struggling to breathe. "What did you just say?" she asked, voice barely audible. Karlie stepped closer, eyes locked on her. "You heard me. Another baby." And guess what? Mona confirmed the story before production even started. That's why y'all's storyline got rewritten. She been protecting your image while Kirk been protecting his lies. Mona finally spoke up, her tone sharp enough to cut glass. "Enough. We're not doing this here." But Karlie refused to back down. "Oh, we're doing this because I'm done being quiet while people pretend. You told me, Mona, you said you had to keep it under wraps because Rasheeda couldn't handle another scandal. But look at her now, she's handling it just fine." The sound of the words echoed through the room. Mona's jaw tightened, and she looked at her assistant, who was frozen in place. "Cut the cameras," she said. But the cameras didn't cut. They kept rolling, capturing every second. Somewhere in the control room, a red light kept blinking, proof that the chaos was being documented in full. Rasheeda turned to Mona, tears brimming in her eyes. "Tell me she's lying," she whispered. "Please Mona, tell me she's lying." Mona's silence was louder than any truth. She didn't move, didn't blink, just stared back at Rasheeda with that same heavy, complicated look. The look of someone who knew more than she wanted to admit. "So it's true?" Rasheeda said, the words breaking apart as they left her mouth. "You knew?" Mona took a breath, steady but sad. "I wasn't trying to hurt you," she said softly. "You had enough on your plate. I thought it would come out naturally, not like this." "Naturally," Rasheeda repeated, disbelief twisting her expression. "You thought it would come out naturally that my husband's been lying to me again, that he's got another child somewhere. You sat on that?" Mona tried to reach out, but Rasheeda stepped back. "Don't," she said. "Don't touch me." Karlie, standing to the side now, folded her arms. "See, you think I'm the villain, but I'm not. I just told the truth. You needed to know." Rasheeda turned on her, voice rising. "You didn't do this for me, Karlie. You did this for views, for clout, for your little messy storyline. You love chaos. It makes you feel alive." Karlie tilted her head, eyes narrowing. "Maybe, but at least I don't live in denial." Someone from the crew called security, but before they could enter, Kirk himself appeared at the far end of the set. No one had seen him walk in. He was supposed to arrive later for his own segment, but the shouting must have pulled him in. He stopped at the doorway, looking between the three women, his wife, his old friend, and the producer who knew too much. The silence was suffocating. "What's going on?" Kirk asked, voice calm but eyes darting. Rasheeda turned to him, her face streaked with tears. "You tell me," she said. "Is it true?" Kirk's brow furrowed. "What are you talking about?" Karlie stepped forward, her phone still in hand. "Don't play dumb, Kirk. We got screenshots. We got photos, and Mona already confirmed it. You got another baby out there. Go ahead, deny it on camera." Kirk's face drained of color, his jaw tightened, and for a moment, it looked like he might actually faint. "You need to stop talking," he said, but it was too late. The damage was done. Rasheeda's voice cracked as she said, "Is it true?" Kirk, he didn't answer, just looked at the floor, lips pressed together, chest rising and falling, and that silence told everyone what they needed to know. Mona turned away, whispering something to her assistant. Karlie just smiled faintly. Whispering something to her assistant. Karlie just smiled faintly, whispering under her breath, "Guess that's your confirmation." The next few seconds blurred. Rasheeda threw her mic down, the metal clanging against the floor. Kirk tried to reach for her, but she pushed him off, shouting something the microphones barely caught. "You made me look like a fool again. I defended you. I took you back. And you did this." The production crew tried to calm her, but her anger was raw, unfiltered, the kind of pain that made everyone else look away. Kirk tried to follow, but Mona stepped in front of him. "Let her go," she said firmly. He hesitated. "Mona, please let her go." She turned toward the rest of the crew. "Clear the set. Everyone out. Now." But the cameras were still rolling. Someone, somewhere, didn't hit stop. And as Rasheeda stormed out of the building, Karlie's voice followed her. "You should have listened to me years ago. He never changed." Outside, Rasheeda's sobs echoed in the parking lot. Inside, Mona stood in silence, staring at Kirk, who looked like a man unraveling, and that was only the beginning. The studio had emptied almost completely, but the tension lingered like smoke that refused to dissipate. Rasheeda had left, leaving Kirk and Mona alone, the silence pressing against them like a physical weight. Kirk ran a hand through his hair, eyes darting nervously. "Mona, you didn't have to let it get that far," he said quietly, voice edged with desperation. Mona didn't flinch. She folded her arms, unwavering. "Kirk, this was going to come out eventually. You can't hide the truth forever. You know that. And now, everyone's seen it, the crew. Karlie, even the cameras caught it. This isn't just about you and Rasheeda anymore. It's public." Kirk swallowed hard, pacing in the small emptying studio. "I didn't want it to happen like this. I didn't want it to hurt her. She's my wife. I didn't want it to hurt her." Mona interrupted, voice rising. "Kirk, she already trusted you through everything. And now this. A whole other child. Do you even understand what you've done?" He flinched, but didn't answer. The truth had him cornered, and Mona knew it. She could see it in his eyes, the mix of guilt, fear, and that faint hint of arrogance that always made him think he could control the narrative. But this time, he couldn't. Outside, Rasheeda was pacing the parking lot, her phone clutched tightly in her hand. Fans had started gathering, snapping pictures, live streaming, sharing every tear-streaked detail online. She didn't care. The world could see now what she had been hiding inside her heart for months. Betrayal, disappointment, humiliation, they all wrapped together in one explosive moment that Karlie had orchestrated flawlessly. Karlie, meanwhile, was backstage, sipping water.com as if she'd just won a battle. She glanced at the monitors, showing Rasheeda storming off, and smiled faintly. Exactly how it needed to happen. She muttered to herself. She knew the cameras had caught the perfect angle, the perfect timing, the perfect reactions. This was reality TV gold, and she had served it cold. Back in the studio, Kirk tried to make a plan. Any plan. "Mona, please. We can fix this. We can control the story. We just need to. We can explain." Mona shook her head, cutting him off. "Explain? Kirk, do you even hear yourself? You're sitting here thinking you can control this? You're a grown man, and you've made a mess of everything. Now it's out, and there's no spinning it back. Not now." He sank into a chair, burying his face in his hands. For the first time, he was truly alone in his mistakes. No one to protect him. No cameras rolling in his favor. No crew to edit the narrative. Just the raw exposure of truth. Mona watched him silently, knowing that every second of this would haunt him for months, if not years. Rasheeda had calmed slightly, leaning against her car, breathing hard. She scrolled through her social media, watching clips of the confrontation go viral within minutes. Fans were already weighing in, theories forming, and everyone had an opinion. She felt a pang of fear. Was this the end of everything she had worked for? But beneath the fear was fire. A burning determination not to let anyone, not even Kirk, define her story. Karlie returned to the monitors, scrolling through comments on live streams, smirking at the chaos she had stirred. "People love this," she murmured, almost to herself. "They love the drama, the realness. They want the mess." Meanwhile, back at the studio, Mona was talking quietly into a phone, coordinating with legal and public relations. "Yes, we need damage control immediately. But also make sure the truth comes out in a way that's undeniable," she said, her voice steady, commanding. "This isn't just gossip anymore. It's full-blown exposure." Kirk peeked up from his chair, voice small. "What do you mean undeniable?" Mona's gaze was icy. "You've left us no choice. People will see the messages, the photos. The crew witnessed it. The entire story is out. If we don't handle it carefully, your entire image, your brand, everything you've built could collapse." He shook his head, panic rising. "I didn't mean for this. I never wanted save it." Mona interrupted. "You're going to need a lot more than excuses now." Outside, Rasheeda was being approached by fans and paparazzi. Questions came fast. "Is it true? Kirk has another baby." She ignored them, walking briskly to her car, but her mind raced. She thought of her daughters, her family, the people she trusted, and the web of lies she had just been forced to confront in public. Anger, grief, betrayal, they were all tangled inside her. Karlie appeared beside her car unexpectedly. "Hey," she said softly, almost soothingly. "I didn't mean to scare you. I just thought you needed to know the truth." Rasheeda turned sharply, eyes blazing. "The truth? Karlie, this isn't about truth, it's about humiliation. You just wanted to see me crumble on camera. Karlie shrugged.com and collected. Maybe a little, but mostly, it's about reality. You can't hide from it forever. Rasheeda's hands shook as she held her phone. I need to think. I can't even. I don't know what to do right now. Karlie nodded. Take your time. But know this, everything you thought you knew about Kirk, about your life, it's all changing. Rasheeda got into her car and drove off, leaving Karlie standing there, watching, satisfied in the chaos she had unleashed. Back inside, Mona walked into the empty studio, the only sound the faint hum of equipment. She paused, looking around at the mess of chairs, cables, and forgotten water bottles. She sighed. Reality TV was supposed to be controlled chaos, scripted tension, safe drama. Today had been neither controlled nor safe. It had been real. Painfully, brutally real. Karlie returned, sitting across from Mona. You think she's going to be okay? She asked, voice quieter now, genuine concern creeping in. Mona looked thoughtful, rubbing her temples. She's strong. But Kirk, he's going to pay for this for a long time. He underestimated the consequences, and now everyone's watching. Karlie smiled faintly. Good, he deserves it. The two women sat in silence, the weight of the day settling around them. Outside, fans continued to share clips, the internet buzzing with speculation, screenshots, and commentary. Hashtags began trending. Hashtag Kirk exposed, hashtag RASHEED. A drama, hashtag love and hip hop exploded across social media feeds. And somewhere, deep in the chaos of it all, Kirk sat in his empty house, phone in hand, scrolling through everything he had just lost control over. Messages from lawyers, friends, family, social media alerts, all proof that the truth had no mercy. He whispered to himself, almost inaudibly, how did it get this far? But he already knew the answer. One word. Karlie. The storm had only just begun, and everyone involved knew there was no going back. The cameras had captured the fallout, the internet was watching, and the world was about to see the unraveling of everything Kirk thought he could hide. The family, the friends, the fans, they were all part of this spectacle now. Unwilling witnesses to the chaos that had exploded on a day that was supposed to be routine. And deep down, everyone knew the question that lingered in the air, heavier than any accusation. How far would this fallout go before the truth finally set someone free? The following days were a whirlwind of chaos and speculation. Atlanta was buzzing, and social media was on fire. Clips from the confrontation between Karlie, Rasheeda, and Kirk had gone viral within hours. Hashtags trended globally, and fans couldn't get enough of the drama. Everyone was asking the same question. How deep did Kirk's betrayal really go? And what would Rasheeda do next? Inside her home, Rasheeda was trying to gather her thoughts. She paced from room to room, phone in hand, scrolling through the endless flood of notifications. Every message, every comment, every clip brought a fresh wave of anger and heartbreak. Yet beneath the rage, a strategy was forming. She couldn't just react emotionally. This was her life, her family, her career. She had to reclaim control before the narrative spun completely out of her hands. Karlie, on the other hand, seemed almost untouchable. She moved through the day with an air of quiet satisfaction, checking the trending metrics, seeing the chaos she'd orchestrated ripple across the internet. Yet even she knew that the drama was only beginning. The cameras had caught everything, but the real fallout would happen behind closed doors, in private conversations, and in the quiet moments that viewers wouldn't see. Meanwhile, Mona Scott was working tirelessly behind the scenes. As producer and mediator, she had to navigate a minefield of egos, emotions, and reputations. She coordinated with legal teams, public relations experts, and even a few trusted cast members. The goal was clear: manage the exposure, protect Rasheeda, and ensure that Kirk couldn't spin this into a narrative that favored him. The next filming day arrived, but the atmosphere was tense and fragile. The cast and crew were wary, glancing at each other with uncertainty. Whispers traveled through the studio like wildfire. Everyone knew the confrontation had shifted the balance of power, and no one was safe from the fallout. Karlie, seated confidently at her designated spot, watched as Rasheeda arrived. The latter's face was set, a mask of composed fury, but her eyes betrayed the storm within. Kirk trailed behind, hesitant, as if approaching a lioness guarding her territory. The cameras rolled, capturing every moment. Rasheeda, Karlie began, voice calm yet pointed. You handled that really well yesterday. Composed, strong. But we all saw the cracks. Rasheeda didn't respond immediately. She studied Karlie, noting the smirk, the pride, the undeniable satisfaction in her demeanor. Cracks? She finally said, voice controlled. Karlie, Don't mistake survival for weakness. I've survived more than this. Don't test me. Karlie's lips curved into a faint smile. Oh, I know. That's why I told the truth. Because someone had to. Kirk shifted uncomfortably. Can we talk about this privately? He asked, tone pleading. Rasheeda turned sharply, her voice slicing through the tension. Private. After everything. After you've been lying. After the cameras, the internet, everyone knows. No, Kirk. There is no private anymore. You created this mess. And now you face it. Mona, observing silently from the monitor, felt the weight of the moment. She knew the confrontation would dominate the narrative. But she also knew that what came next, the private moments, the emotional reckonings, would define the season. Every look, every pause, every unsaid word carried more drama than any scripted line could ever deliver. The cast and crew watched, riveted, as Rasheeda and Kirk engaged in a tense, controlled conversation. Her questions were precise, sharp, leaving Kirk stumbling, grasping for words. She asked about the other child, about the lies, about the months of deception. And each answer he gave seemed only to dig him deeper. You thought you could keep this from me forever, Rasheeda said finally, her voice low but deadly. You underestimated me. You underestimated how much I'd notice, how much I'd remember. And now, the world knows. Karlie leaned back, arms crossed, watching the chaos she had unleashed continue to unfold. Sometimes, people need the world to see the truth, she said, almost philosophically. Especially when private lies hurt everyone around them. The tension escalated further when one of Kirk's close friends, a fellow cast member, stepped in. Kirk, maybe you should explain. Rasheeda cut him off with a glare that froze him in place. Don't speak for him. I want to hear it from him. All of it. The rest of the day's filming turned into an emotional minefield. Every interaction was laced with accusation, tension, and the fear of further exposure. Crew members whispered among themselves, some taking sides, others simply trying to stay out of the line of fire. Outside, the fans were relentless. Social media exploded with speculation, theories, and opinions. The leaked clips fueled debates. Was Karlie a hero for revealing the truth, or a villain for exposing Rasheeda in public? Would Rasheeda forgive Kirk? Or was this the final breaking point? Could the marriage survive such a public betrayal? Meanwhile, Mona began planning a special segment, a reunion-style confrontation that would address all angles. She knew the world was watching, and she also knew that the narrative had to be controlled carefully. The goal was not just drama, it was ratings, loyalty, and the power of the story being told on her terms. Karlie, aware of the plan, smirked. She knew she had positioned herself perfectly. The cameras had caught her role in the exposure. The internet had validated her actions, and the world was watching her navigate the storm with poise and precision. Rasheeda, however, was not done. She spent the evening composing messages, speaking with trusted friends and advisors, and planning her next steps. The confrontation had only been the beginning. The real battle, she knew, was the aftermath, the rebuilding of trust, the reclaiming of her narrative, and the handling of a husband who had underestimated her completely. Kirk, alone in his home, scrolled through social media, the reality of his actions hitting harder than he had imagined. Comments, memes, fan theories, all painting him as a liar, a betrayer, a man who could not be trusted. The pressure mounted, suffocating, and he realized that the consequences of his actions were far more public and permanent than he had ever anticipated. The day ended with unresolved tension, cameras off, but the storm far from over. Everyone knew this was just the first chapter in a long, dramatic saga that would dominate the season, ignite social media debates, and keep fans glued to every new development. The question lingering in everyone's mind was simple, yet terrifying. How much more could unravel before the truth completely consumed Kirk, Rasheeda, and everyone caught in the middle of this explosive, unforgettable drama? The following week on set, the atmosphere was electric, but in a different way than before. The initial confrontation had passed, but the tension hadn't eased. If anything, it had thickened, simmering under every glance, every whispered conversation, every forced smile. Karlie Red arrived first, heels clicking sharply on the studio floor, her posture radiating calm confidence. She knew the cameras would be watching, and more importantly, she knew how to work them. The viral clips from the previous week had only amplified her presence. Fans were obsessed, calling her the catalyst, and every movement she made was now analyzed in real time on social media. Rasheeda arrived shortly after, her entrance quieter, but no less intense. She carried herself with a controlled fury, a mix of determination and restraint that made everyone around her cautious. Crew members instinctively gave her space, aware that the woman in front of them was a force, and that her wrath could be unpredictable. Her eyes, however, betrayed the pain still lingering just beneath the surface. A pain born from betrayal, humiliation, and a very public exposure of her personal life. Kirk arrived later, hesitant, trying to appear casual. But it was obvious that the prior week's events had shaken him more than anyone had anticipated. His eyes darted to Rasheeda and Karlie, gauging reactions, calculating every word he might say. Mona Scott, overseeing the production from the monitors, was already anticipating the storm. She knew this wasn't just another day of filming, this was a psychological battlefield, and she was the general orchestrating the chaos. As filming began, Mona called for the cameras to roll. The conversation was supposed to be about career moves, new projects, and maintaining public appearances. But everyone knew that the unspoken tension would inevitably surface. Karlie, sitting poised, broke the silence. "So, Kirk, how are we pretending today? Are we acting like last week never happened?" Her tone was calm, almost conversational, but sharp enough to pierce through the pretense. Rasheeda's response was immediate, controlled but firm. "I'm not pretending. I'm surviving. That's the difference. You, on the other hand, seem to thrive on other people's pain." Karlie's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. "Maybe I do, but only when the truth is hidden. People deserve to know what's really happening, don't they?" The crew watched in tense silence as Kirk shifted uncomfortably in his seat. "Can we not do this here?" he said, voice strained, trying to keep a facade of control. Rasheeda's glare cut through him. "You don't get to control the narrative anymore. You lost that privilege when everyone found out. Stop acting like you're the victim." Karlie leaned forward, resting her elbows on her knees. "It's not about victim or villain, it's about reality. And Kirk, you've been living in denial for far too long. The world just caught up with you." Kirk's jaw tightened, his palms clenching. "This isn't fair. Nothing about this is fair. You're all twisting things, making it bigger than it is." Mona's voice, calm but authoritative, interjected. "Fair or not, this is what's happening. We can't ignore it. We can't edit it away. The cameras are here, the audience is here, and the truth is here. Now, deal with it." The tension escalated further when one of the crew members accidentally knocked over a light stand. The sudden crash made everyone jump, but it also mirrored the emotional turbulence that hung over the room. Rasheeda's eyes flashed with anger, Kirk flinched, and Karlie barely moved, observing the chaos like a strategist watching a chessboard unfold. Outside, fans had already begun to speculate on the next episode. Social media alive with theories, predictions, and debates. Hashtag Kirk exposed, hashtag Rasheeda's revenge, and hashtag Karlie uncut were trending within minutes. People dissected every second of footage, analyzing facial expressions, body language, and tone. The public's obsession with the unfolding drama only fueled the tension inside the studio. As the day progressed, private conversations between the cast and Mona revealed deeper layers of the conflict. Rasheeda confided in Mona about the emotional toll, expressing her fear of being further humiliated and her determination to reclaim her narrative. Mona, experienced and calculating, offered guidance, reminding Rasheeda that composure and strategy could turn vulnerability into power. Karlie, on the other hand, maintained her composed exterior while quietly plotting her next move. She knew the cameras loved confrontation, but she also knew the internet loved subtlety, manipulation, and the slow reveal of truths. She began preparing for the moments when she could speak softly, but land hard blows, moments that would dominate headlines and social media threads alike. Kirk, increasingly isolated, tried to appeal to Rasheeda, to Karlie, even to Mona, but every word seemed to push him further into the corner he had built for himself. The more he spoke, the more the cameras captured, and the more the public judged. He realized that this was beyond him, beyond lies, beyond private reconciliations. The entire world was watching, dissecting, and waiting for the next misstep. By the end of filming, the emotional exhaustion was palpable. Rasheeda had maintained her composure but was visibly drained. Karlie remained a calm but formidable presence, and Kirk sat in silence, weighed down by guilt and the consequences of his actions. Mona, ever the orchestrator, reviewed the footage, knowing that this was television gold, a storm of betrayal, truth, and emotion that would dominate ratings and social media for weeks to come. As everyone left the studio, the unspoken understanding was clear. Nothing would ever be the same. The confrontation had ignited a fire, one that would continue to burn, consume, and expose secrets in ways no one could have anticipated. And as fans speculated online, the tension continued to build, promising more explosive moments, more emotional reckonings, and more revelations in the episodes to come. The narrative was no longer just a storyline, it had become real life, a spectacle of human emotion, power, and consequence that would keep the audience captivated, shocked, and hungry for the next twist in this high-stakes drama. Every glance, every pause, every whispered word promised that the storm was far from over, and the aftermath would leave no one untouched. The days following the confrontation were a delicate balance between chaos and calculated appearances. Rasheeda retreated to her home, attempting to process the events that had unfolded on set. She spent hours scrolling through social media, watching the world dissect her life in real time. Memes, reaction videos, fan theories. Every post felt like a punch, yet beneath it all was a simmering resolve. She wasn't just going to be a victim of Kirk's lies, she was going to take control of the narrative, reclaim her dignity, and make sure the truth landed on her terms. Karlie, meanwhile, thrived amid the frenzy. She watched her role in the viral storm unfold with quiet satisfaction. Every clip, every comment, every mention in the media confirmed what she already knew. Her actions had shifted the entire season. Fans were calling her fearless, cunning, and unafraid to expose the truth. While others accused her of manipulation and cruelty, she didn't mind. The attention, the power, the chaos, it was all part of the game she knew how to play. Kirk, however, was unraveling. The pressure of public scrutiny, the undeniable evidence, and the knowledge that he had been exposed on a global stage weighed heavily on him. Phone calls from lawyers, advisors, and family flooded in, each one a reminder that the fallout from his actions was far from over. The private life he thought he controlled had exploded in ways he couldn't contain, and for the first time, he felt truly powerless. Back on set, Mona Scott was preparing for the reunion-style segment she knew would be explosive. She called the cast together, briefing them on how to navigate the conversation while keeping the cameras rolling. "This is more than drama now," she said, her voice steady and commanding. "This is real life. Everything is on the table. Emotions, secrets, betrayals. We handle this carefully, but don't hide the truth. The audience wants authenticity, and that's what they'll get." Filming began with palpable tension. Rasheeda entered first, composed but fierce, a silent declaration that she would not be undermined again. Karlie followed, confident and poised, aware that every word she spoke, every glance she gave, was being dissected by fans and the media alike. Kirk trailed behind, cautious, attempting to maintain a semblance of control, but his usual charm and bravado were gone. As the cameras rolled, Rasheeda addressed Kirk directly. "You lied, you betrayed me, and everyone out there knows it. You have no control over this anymore." Karlie, seated to the side, interjected with a calm intensity. "It's not about control, Kirk. It's about accountability. The truth doesn't need a narrative, it just exists. And now, everyone sees it." Kirk tried to speak, but his words faltered under the weight of the moment. "I didn't stop." Rasheeda cut him off, her voice firm and unwavering. "You've said enough. Your actions speak louder than words. Look around you. Everyone knows." The production crew captured every tense exchange, every pause, every tremor in voice or expression. Mona watched intently, knowing that these raw moments would dominate headlines and social media feeds, driving engagement and ratings beyond anything scripted. Outside, the internet erupted. Clips from the reunion leaked almost immediately, fans reacting with shock, anger, and fascination. Debates raged across platforms. Was Rasheeda justified in her anger? Was Kirk's betrayal the ultimate scandal? Was Karlie a hero or a manipulator? Hashtags trended globally, amplifying the drama and ensuring that the fallout would extend far beyond the set. Amid the chaos, Rasheeda began to speak with allies and advisors, formulating a strategy. She wanted to reclaim her narrative, control the story, and protect her family. Every decision was calculated, every move designed to ensure that she emerged, not just unscathed, but empowered. Karlie, aware of the delicate balance, chose her moments carefully. She knew that overplaying her role could backfire, but subtle nudges, well-timed revelations, and a calm demeanor allowed her to maintain influence and control over the unfolding narrative. Kirk, increasingly isolated, attempted to salvage relationships and explain himself, but the damage was done. Every word was scrutinized, every gesture analyzed, and every action judged. The man who once believed he could manipulate reality now found himself powerless against the court of public opinion. The relentless eye of social media, and the unflinching determination of Rasheeda and Karlie. As filming continued over the following days, each scene intensified the drama. Moments of silence, glances of accusation, whispered confrontations all captured in painstaking detail. Mona ensured that every angle was documented, every reaction preserved, and every secret exposed at the opportune moment. By the end of the week, the storm had not subsided, it had only grown. The confrontation, the viral clips, the public scrutiny, and the internal battles set the stage for an even greater unraveling. Fans were riveted, tuning in for every episode, every teaser, every social media update. The drama was no longer contained within the studio, it had spilled into the world, demanding attention, reaction, and speculation. And deep in the center of it all, Rasheeda, Karlie, and Kirk each navigated their roles, their emotions, and their reputations. The lines between reality and performance blurred, leaving viewers captivated, shocked, and hungering for the next revelation in a story that seemed to have no end. The question lingered in every mind: how much further could this fallout go before someone finally broke? How many more secrets would surface, and who would emerge victorious in a battle of truth, lies, and unrelenting ambition? The stage was set, the players were ready, and the drama, volatile, raw, and utterly consuming, was only just beginning. As the following week unfolded, the intensity on set reached new heights. Rasheeda arrived with a steely determination, her presence commanding attention without a word. The crew instinctively gave her space, knowing the emotional gravity that accompanied her every movement. Karlie, poised and calm as ever, entered shortly after, eyes scanning the studio with calculated precision, fully aware of how much power the cameras and social media had granted her in this unfolding saga. Kirk, visibly tense, lingered behind, trying to maintain an air of control, but failing miserably under the scrutiny of his castmates and the ever-present lens. The day's filming began with an air of forced professionalism, but the undercurrents of resentment, anger, and unresolved tension were palpable. Mona Scott, ever the orchestrator, kept a watchful eye from the monitors, ready to guide, intervene, or escalate as needed. She knew that the storylines were no longer just scripted drama, they were life, raw and unfiltered, and the audience could feel it. Karlie, Rasheeda started, voice steady but sharp. You've made it very clear what you think of me, but do you realize what this has done? How much damage it's caused? Karlie's gaze was unflinching. Rasheeda, I didn't create the damage, the truth did, and maybe it's uncomfortable, maybe it's messy, but hiding it never made it go away. Kirk, attempting to interject, stumbled over his words. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. Rasheeda's glare cut him off, sharper than ever. Stop, just stop. You think words can fix what you've done? The lies, the secrets, the betrayal. No, actions speak louder than anything you say now. Monitored by cameras, the confrontation escalated organically. Every glance, every hesitation, every micro-expression was captured with precision, giving the production team a treasure trove of footage that would dominate headlines and social media for weeks. Mona ensured that the camera angles highlighted the raw emotion, the tension, and the unspoken drama that words alone could never convey. Outside the studio, the world was watching. Fans dissected every clip, analyzed every word, and debated every facial expression. Social media exploded with theories, predictions, and commentary. Hashtags like #KirkExposed, #RASHEEDA Strength, and #KARLIE Uncut dominated trending pages. The drama had transcended the studio, becoming a cultural spectacle that left viewers both horrified and captivated. Rasheeda, acutely aware of her public image, worked tirelessly with advisors to craft her response strategy. She knew that reclaiming her narrative required precision. Every statement, every interview, every social media post had to reinforce her strength, her dignity, and her control over the situation. She refused to allow Kirk's betrayal to define her. Karlie, meanwhile, moved strategically. She knew the internet thrived on chaos, but she also understood the power of subtlety. Her calm, collected demeanor contrasted sharply with the emotional storm surrounding her, positioning her as both a provocateur and a stabilizing force. Every interaction she had was measured, designed to maintain influence without appearing manipulative, delicate balance that few could achieve. Kirk, increasingly isolated and overwhelmed, struggled to regain footing. Every attempt to explain, justify, or appeal was met with resistance or scorn. The more he tried, the deeper he sank into public scrutiny and personal guilt. The exposure had stripped him of his usual defenses, leaving him vulnerable in a way he had never experienced. As the week progressed, private confrontations and candid interviews revealed additional layers of conflict. Rasheeda's questions were sharp, direct, and relentless, forcing Kirk to confront the full extent of his actions. Karlie's interventions were subtle, strategic, and undeniably effective, often guiding the narrative without drawing attention to her influence. Mona skillfully mediated, ensuring that every moment captured the intensity, authenticity, and high stakes that viewers craved. Fans, now deeply invested, continued to engage across multiple platforms. Live reactions, memes and commentary exploded online. Every clip from filming, every behind-the-scenes whisper, and every post-interaction was scrutinized, dissected, and debated. The world watched, enthralled by the raw emotion, unexpected twists, and explosive confrontations. The tension on set also revealed cracks in alliances and friendships. Cast members, once loyal, began taking sides, some quietly supporting Rasheeda, others aligning with Kirk, while a few remained neutral, navigating the delicate balance of loyalty and self-preservation. Every conversation, every look, every moment of hesitation was a potential spark for the next explosion of drama. By the end of the week, it was clear, nothing would return to the status quo. The confrontation had ignited a firestorm that would continue to burn, affecting relationships, reputations, and careers. The cameras had captured the story, the internet amplified it, and the world watched as the emotional fallout unfolded in real time. As Rasheeda, Karlie, and Kirk each navigated their respective roles, the stakes continued to rise. The line between reality and performance blurred, leaving viewers captivated, shocked, and desperate for the next revelation. The question that lingered in every mind remained the same: who would emerge unscathed? Who would falter? And how much more could be exposed before the truth finally consumed everyone involved in this explosive, unforgettable drama? And now, after witnessing the intensity, the betrayals, the raw emotions, and the explosive confrontations, it's time to take a moment and reflect on what you've just seen. This isn't just another episode of reality television, it's a study in human behavior, in the way secrets, lies, and misunderstandings can escalate into chaos when left unchecked. You've watched Rasheeda stand her ground, confront the truth, and refuse to let Kirk's betrayals define her. You've seen Karlie assert her role in exposing the reality of the situation, balancing strategy, composure, and an uncanny sense of timing. And you've seen Kirk, stripped of his usual defenses, confront the consequences of his actions under the scrutiny of both the cameras and the public eye. This story isn't just drama, it's a reflection of the world around us. It's a reminder that actions have consequences, that truth has a way of surfacing, and that accountability is inevitable, no matter how carefully one tries to conceal it. Watching the unraveling of Kirk's decisions, the resilience of Rasheeda, and the calculated influence of Karlie provides an unfiltered look at what happens when lives intersect, emotions collide, and the world is watching. But beyond the personal conflicts and betrayals, there's a larger lesson for all of us. Every reaction, every decision, every misstep in this saga has been amplified because of the public eye. The cameras don't just capture moments, they freeze them, replay them, and turn them into narratives that the world interprets. In a way, this is a story about perception as much as reality, how we handle it as much as reality, how we handle challenges, confront truths, and respond to betrayal shapes not only our personal outcomes but also the way the world sees us. Rasheeda's determination to control her narrative shows the power of agency, even when circumstances seem overwhelming. Karlie's strategic maneuvers reveal how influence and timing can shape the unfolding of events, while Kirk's exposure is a cautionary tale about deception and hubris. Now, think about the conversations this drama sparks in your own life. How do you deal with truth when it's uncomfortable? How do you confront betrayal, whether from friends, partners, or colleagues? What does it mean to reclaim control over a narrative that's been hijacked by others? These questions aren't just relevant to reality television, they resonate in our everyday lives. The story of Rasheeda, Kirk, and Karlie serves as a mirror, reflecting the challenges, choices, and consequences we all face in our interactions, relationships, and personal decisions. And let's not forget the power of the audience. Every comment, every opinion, every share adds a layer to the unfolding drama. The internet isn't just a bystander in this story, it's a participant, influencing perceptions, reactions, and even the decisions of those involved. By engaging, discussing, and sharing your thoughts, you become part of the narrative. Your voice matters just as much as the actions of the people on screen. So here's where you come in. We want to hear your take on everything that's happened. Do you think Rasheeda will move forward stronger than ever, reclaiming her life and her narrative? Do you believe Karlie's actions were justified, or was she pushing the boundaries of manipulation too far? And what about Kirk? Can he recover from the fallout? Or is this the end of his influence and credibility? Your opinions, your insights, and your reactions are crucial to the ongoing conversation. Share them in the comments below, engage with fellow fans, and be part of the debate. Liking this video is more than just a click, it's a way to show your support for the unraveling story, the revelations, and the emotional truths that have come to light. Subscribing ensures that you'll stay connected to every update, every new twist, and every moment of this unfolding saga. Hitting the notification bell means you'll be among the first to witness new developments, exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, and real-time reactions that add depth and context to what you've already seen. As the story continues to unfold, there will be more confrontations, more revelations, and more emotional moments that will challenge your perceptions, make you question motivations, and leave you guessing about what comes next. By staying engaged, you not only witness the drama, you become part of it. Your reactions, your thoughts, and your shared insights shape the broader narrative and influence how the world interprets these events. Take a moment to consider the resilience you've seen in Rasheeda, the strategy demonstrated by Karlie, and the consequences faced by Kirk. Think about how these lessons translate to your own life. How do you handle conflict when it's public or personal? How do you navigate situations where emotions run high and stakes are enormous? How do you ensure your voice is heard, your truth acknowledged, and your agency maintained? Reflecting on these questions not only deepens your understanding of the drama, but also connects it to universal experiences we all face. Now is the time to engage actively. Comment below with your perspectives, vote in polls, and join the discussion with fellow viewers. Share this video with friends who love reality drama. Debate the motivations of each character, and predict what might happen in upcoming episodes. Your engagement ensures that the conversation continues, that voices are heard, and that the story maintains its dynamic energy. Remember, this isn't just entertainment, it's a lesson in truth, consequences, and human behavior. Every choice made on set, every calculated move, and every emotional reaction provides insight into the complexities of relationships, trust, and accountability. By watching, reflecting, and participating, you're not just consuming content, you're actively interacting with a living, evolving narrative that has implications far beyond the screen. So like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and immerse yourself in the unfolding drama. Your voice matters, your opinion counts, and your engagement helps shape the narrative that continues to captivate viewers worldwide. As the storm continues, stay tuned, because the story is far from over. More secrets will emerge, more alliances will shift, and more confrontations will test the strength, strategy, and resilience of everyone involved. Your role as an engaged viewer ensures you'll witness every moment, every revelation, and every emotional high and low, staying at the heart of a story that's as compelling as it is unforgettable. Now it's your turn. Tell us what you think. How will Rasheeda respond next? What strategies will Karlie employ? Can Kirk ever recover? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to stay connected, and be part of the drama that continues to unfold with intensity, emotion, and shocking revelations that you won't want to miss. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the next chapter is waiting, and you have a front row seat to everything.